Hi all, right, back with more Combat Commander. Playing with the CC bot by James Watton, Rising Sun Studios. Playing scenario 1, Fat Lip K. This is my part 6. Okay, so yeah, I had a much more enjoyable couple of parts yesterday done, and yeah, it was good fun, and it started to me thinking that the Germans aren't just out of this, and maybe they've still got some way of winning this scenario because they've got good positioning. I think they get better positioning regarding the objectives in this because they're starting positions, I suppose. Okay, so I'm going to get into it. However, there's 2 or 3 things just to bring up. That was from part 2, but I fixed that. Right, so the couple of things that I've picked up from part 3, I've done it twice. I put this in the comment in the header of the video, where I missed, and and thinking about this, I could quite easily see it. It's again another one I could see myself missing. This trigger here, opponent discards due to passing. Well, I didn't trigger that at all. Not so important, maybe, unless it was a scenario defender, because hidden unit sounds like it might be quite a good one. To be honest, I don't know what it does. However, demolitions we should have been checking on. Now, but when I read up on demolitions, it's not really, well, I was a bit confused by it. Now that's an action, clearly, Grant. So demolitions. It says it may only be played when opponent discards one or more cards due to passing. Obviously, that's why we're doing the trigger check. It doesn't count for involuntary discards due to events. It notes they are, but it says the effect: eliminate 1 fortification in any hex containing a friendly unit. So I suppose I'm a little confused about that. Why you would want to do that? But maybe there's a reason. So if you've got a unit sitting in foxholes, which I'm just picking foxholes there, which I think are going to be some kind of fortification. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's a bunker or something. I don't know. Let's say I haven't come across much of that. But why would you want to eliminate one of them? No, hang on. Demolitions, it's not a may. It says eliminate. But then why would you want to trigger the action? Yeah, I don't know. Have I got a card with demolitions on it? Maybe. Just to see if it's worded any different. I don't think it's one that I've came across. Maybe the Russians don't have any demolitions. There's certainly none there. Well, the Germans must have. Well, that's not necessarily the case, because this isn't just about the Germans, is it? There's one. Demolitions. Play when your opponent discards 1 or more cards. Remove a fortification from a friendly hex. Well, you get the choice to play the card if you want. There, it's there. So if you don't want to do it, you don't play the action. But I'm just not sure why you would want to. Unless I'm missing something obvious there. Anyway, I forgot to trigger it, and twice we played 2 turns where we passed and discarded some cards. So I should have been checked twice. Fortunately, there's no fortifications on the map, so it wouldn't have mattered, but I should have been doing that. Now, it wouldn't have affected card draws either, because their checks come from the action deck. Well, it would have affected them, but this is the thing. If I'm going to make a mistake or 2 with this, and cards are going to get drawn out of sequence, then I've got to just switch off from that and just say, I know I drew a card already for a trigger, for a check, a dice roll, and it should have been a card in my hand, and I just kind of caught that in time. Well, not really in time, but just out of time. So I'm okay with that, but if time goes by, then I'm not going to try and rearrange the cards as they were. I'll just draw another random card off the top, because it's just going to get silly. I'm going to try and do that. So unless it happens right away and I can fix it quickly, then we'll just let that go by and draw a random card. And then part 4, yeah, I made the comment about the broken weapon up there, about forgetting to check when we got a sniper. I think it was a sniper, and it came up A4, or it was something that came up A4. Yeah, I think it was a sniper. Came up A4, so the check should have been on a 4. This was 1 to 2 fix, 7 to 10 eliminate. That's the only weapon that was broken. So I did catch it right at the end of the video as well, so made a comment on that. So going back to part 2, and I had 2 comments in part 2, and yeah, looks like I've been getting something quite wrong, which I'm glad I found out about now. I maybe should have thought about this, because when it's been brought to my attention, I'm sort of saying, yeah, I never really thought about that, but I think I should have done. And it's regarding the bonus, the command bonus from the leaders. This gives a command bonus of 2 to all their stats. That's 5, so it gives a command bonus the 2 to his firepower, so it would up the 5 to 7. The range, up the range from 3 to 5. Oh, I forgot about that. I might have forgot about the fact that it boosts the range. Okay, well, there's something to remember as well. And it also boosts the movement. Well, this is the big one. The movement boosts that up to 6. However, and then also the morale, it boosts that to 10. From an 8 to 10. However, the movement side of it, and some viewer picked up on the fact that I had the leader with, did we have it with the medium machine gun or the light machine gun? It was back at the beginning, because this was in part 2, so it must have just been my first movements. Well, I must have moved the unit with the machine gun. I gave it the +2 for being with the sergeant at the time, and then moved them separately. And he's pointed out that if I wanted to benefit from that extra 2 movement points, that I would have had to keep them both together. So it kind of, at first I thought, is that right? Does he not just get the 2 extra points and then that's it? But it does say that he gets that bonus. They only get that bonus if they share the same hex. So as soon as he moves out of the hex from the leader, he really doesn't have that extra 2 movement points anymore, does he? If you think about it. So yeah, I'm a bit annoyed at myself at that one. I'm just going to put that down to an early learning mistake, because I can't really rewind that. The problem is also that I may have done it on more than one occasion. I'm pretty sure I have. I can't think back. I'd need to look back on all the movement that we've done, but even over here, did this leader always stay with this medium machine gun? I want to say that I don't think he did. So I may well have done that wrong there. As for the German side of things, I think they moved up together, didn't they? Yeah, because I think that's when I started talking about the bonuses of staying together. Well, there's another. It's not so much a bonus of staying together. Well, I suppose it is in a way, but it's kind of essential if you want to get the extra 2 movement points. You know, if you want to get the extra 2 movement points, then he needs to stay with the leader. So you need to move them together. So that's another, and maybe the more important reason of group moving them together, so that it benefits from that. So, well, thanks for bringing that up. There was no name that I can click to mind. There was some handle, shall we say. If there's a name there, I'll give it out. But thanks for bringing it up, because I would have carried on doing that. And then the other comment I got was from Hal, who's followed along with quite a lot of my videos. I want to say he's probably new to this game as well. I think he was only just picking it up. Maybe when I started talking about it and the fact that it might be soloable and whatever. Anyway, so it's when we were talking. It was in part 2, and it was when we were talking about this op fire check. And the Germans were doing an op fire for these units. These units were all starting to move down through this hex, wasn't it? It was this hex here that we could have an op fire at. So I realised that, and then I came up to the action chart, and we looked at what the possibilities were here. And it says opponent plays a move order, so there's only one selection here. Op fire. The requirements are friendly unit within line of sight and range of moving unit. So we checked for this, and it failed to check, right? So, but I did start wondering about other things happening. Do I need to do this check again? Bearing in mind, this says opponent plays a move order. So once I've played that move order, I think that's it. Now, if I get this check, if I do this check and the op fire is a success, then yes, I quite understand that any movement from now on, the units that have been activated to op fire, any movement by units within their range and line of sight, each time they spend a movement point, these guys can fire. I get that. What admittedly I'm not 100% sure about is that, and this is down to the solo, this is the AI system, because in a 2-player game right now, I could move down here, my opponent could say wait, and then they could say no, it's alright, carry on, and then he could move into that hex, and then he could say wait, and then play the op fire order. So he can, but what we're doing with the bot here is we're coming into line of sight and range, and we're saying wait, we're doing the check, and he's not op firing, he's failed the op fire. Now, this is the bit that makes it maybe a little unclear, and maybe we do need to find out about this. Could it be the same? Could it be the same that he's said, you know what, I don't want to fire just now? So then he moves into this hex, and we say wait again, we check again, so we do another check. But I don't know if that's right or not. And again, part of my belief is that the wording is opponent plays a move order. That's the trigger for it. So him moving from there to there does not actually trigger that. And in actual fact, but see that yeah. It's a bit unclear, isn't it? In actual fact, if we're basing it on the trigger of him playing a move order, as soon as he plays a move order card, it could be that none of these units are in range of line of sight of these guys. So how can I play an op fire? But do I do the check then? Maybe I do the check then, and then come the time when the requirements are, is there a friendly unit within line of sight and range of the moving unit, then we can op fire. I don't know. Anyway, Hal seems to... He was suggesting by reading the rules, but again, I think we've got to base this on the solo rules. Hal, that's a thing. And I do understand that if op fire's in play, even if we're playing a 2-player game right now, and I've played a fire card to op fire, then any time one of these units move, I can do a fire action. I understand that. I'm not that sure about it. And one of the other things that throws me a little bit about it is reading about the digital version of the bot, where James highlights the fact that you check for op fire, you click the button on every time that the opponent plays or any time that you play a movement point, anytime you move a unit, you click the button to see if there's op fire. So maybe Hal is right here in thinking that every time these guys move, we need to do a trigger check to see if they're going to op fire. That changes us up by a huge amount, and in actual fact, I think that would be better. I think it would be better because, like I've said, you need to roll. What is it you need to roll? Well, whatever it is on the action track. So at the moment that's a 6. So I would need to roll a 6, and then I'd need to roll a 6 again to get op fire. So, but if I failed, then that would drop down. That would then drop down to a 5, right? And then let's say another unit moved. We do a trigger again. We check for op fire again. This time we need a 5, and then a 6. If we fail again, this comes down. Still a 5 this time. Another unit moves, we do a trigger check again. Now, once we get an op fire success, then we don't need to... All we need to do is every time they move, we're going to fire at them. So I don't know. I don't feel like it's... I mean, is there any more in the rules there that regarding this. I don't think there's nothing in the rules. I mean, the example it gives there is, opponent plays a move or advance order, trigger and test for opportunity fire. But that's if you play the move or advance order. I don't know, and finding the answers to these questions is kind of difficult. In the thread with his file for this, I've hunted through some of the comments in there. I try to find a way of being able to search. Actually, I might be able to do that on the computer, because I was on my tablet at the time I was doing it, and I couldn't find a way to try and search through that thread to see if I could maybe find some info about that. But that's really the only place to look. I don't think there's threads out there that talk about this, because it's a solitaire system. It's not part of the main game. You can't just search for... If you search for opportunity fire, you're going to get loads of hits, yeah. But it's all going to be based on the two-player side of it. It's not going to discuss the bot. Well, could it be that there's some threads in there that might be talking about it? Maybe, but... Let me go and have a little glance, see if I can get anything. Right, I was having a glance, trying to search through that thread. Just using it through... there's not an actual way of searching through an actual thread on BGG, but you just need to use your web browser, I think, to try and... Anyway, I came to the conclusion that the physical version of the bot, as I've been thinking about it, because there's a couple of guys in there who have tried to come up with better ideas to deal with this. Because like one pointed out, as soon as we know as a player that there's no alt fire, then we can go daft. We could come through clear hexes without worrying. Whereas if you're playing against another player, they're going to be keeping that alt fire card in their hand in the hope that you do some of that. So it kind of takes a bit of that away. So I don't know if the guys, I didn't start reading into how their way of dealing with it was. They were coming up with a couple of ideas. But it doesn't look like James has incorporated anything into the physical version. However, when it comes to the digital version, I believe that every time the unit moves, you click a button that says, now it's either adjacent, either says adjacent or range 2+. So if the unit is like two hexes or more away from it, you click that button. If it's adjacent to you, you click the other button that's adjacent. And obviously the percentage getting an alt fire result is going to be different based on that, so you must have all that built in. So you don't see what's behind the scenes on that, but you are meant to click it every time that there's a movement. I believe that's my understanding of it. But not I don't think in this physical version of it. You do it once. If it fails, there's no alt fire, and if it succeeds, then you can alt fire every time something moves. While I was also coming across that as well, there was talk of the white 6 coming up on the action thing, and the guy was asking about that. Is that being built into the digital version? James comes back saying that I think it has, but it got me thinking again the way it was worded, that if you get that white 6, you try for another action, no matter what. And I kind of... Basically, it doesn't really say not to do that in the rules. So I think I should have done that for the start with the white wounds. We'll let that one go. But I think from now on, if I was to get a 6 on the opportunity fire, for instance, and then I didn't succeed, then we'll have another shot at it, I think. And I know what Kevin said. Oh, hang on. Right, sorry, got a phone call there. And I don't know where I was at. I think I was finished talking about all this, wasn't I? I feel like I was. I can see how the alt fire could do with working better somehow. And again, that could be, just play with the app, just play with the digital version. You might find that it's more random. You never know. You're going to click a button every time, so you never know if there's going to be alt fire there. You kind of feel like that he would have done something like that with here though, and that maybe that's why what Hal's saying, that every time you move, you should do that check. But that's not what I'm reading in the rules and what I'm seeing on the thread there as well. So However, that's not to say that it's maybe that, and I'm getting it wrong. Right, that's just 20 minutes in, and I had fully intended like just getting started quicker. Right, it's the AI's turn to go, so they should have 5 cards here, I think. You know what? They've only got 4. Now that must mean that they discarded one. I know we had to discard one for an action recently. So did they react in that last? They did, didn't they? They got the concealment, didn't they? Yeah, I want to say they got the concealment trigger for being fired upon. And yeah, because the action marker's way back up the top, so we must have triggered an action. So that's why they've only got 4 cards in their hand. Right, let's go on with it. They need a 2 to carry out an order, and hopefully not a 1 to go with it. Here we go. Right, we've got a 3 and a 6. So 3 means it's a success, so that goes up to there. And then the 6 is going to be this track, and it's going to go up to fire. So it's a normal fire order. So that's what they're going to do, or try and do. Now, these guys down here, I think we've all kept out of their line of sight, haven't they? Yeah, clearly these trees are in the way of the woods. So yeah, they can't be involved. But these certainly can. So fire order. Now the other thing is that hero, he can join the group as well. So I think what we can have is we can have the 5. Now hold on here. No, it's not a special fire order this though. This is just a normal fire order, Grant. So you're not adding into this, right? So the best we're going to get here is a strength of 5, and then using this to group fire. Yeah, one of the things I was trying to take note of there. Remember, he can get more than 1 action. So if we activate him, we've got to remember that the second order we draw, if it was a move order, he can still activate again. It just says more than once, so I'm assuming it can activate as many times. I don't think there's a limit, but we've only got 2 order cards to play anyway, so I think that's the best we can get, because his range is only 1. And remember, that's the other thing, this is going to give this an extra 2 in the rate. Oh, and the firepower. Yeah, I'm forgetting about that. So the fire is going to be 7, and then we can have him to join our fire group as long as it's within range 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 3 away. That's 3 away. The reason we move these down to 3 away is because so that they can all become a fire group on that building. Eh? So yeah, so they're going to fire with 7 plus 1, so 8. Now, well, where are they going to fire at? Well, they can fire at any one, and there's not going to be any hindrance or blocking the line of sight. The hindrance, that fence, remember we worked that one out, that because we're adjacent to it, there's no hindrance. So yeah, we can fire at any one of them. I mean, this is a one with a leader in it, so you kind of feel, I mean, they're all in the woods. So should we just go for the one with the leader? I think so. Yeah, I think so. So I'm going to fire on the hex with the leader with 7 plus 1 because he's joined the fire group. So we're activating both of them. So 8 into there. We're going to draw a German card, Grant. So 8 plus, oh dear, 3. Oh, that was terrible. So 11. That's not going to do it then, is it? So we're checking on him. He's got 10. Yeah, he's 8. Oh no, he's 12, isn't he? He's 12 because he's getting plus 2 from that and plus 2 from the terrain. So he's a 12 and he's a 10. Yeah, maybe I should have. Well, that was the reason not to maybe target that hex, because the squad was getting that extra plus 2 to its morale. Anyway, it was a terrible roll though. So what was it again? Did I say? It was a 3 we drew. 8, 9, 12. Yeah, there's 12. So not that I really need to put this dice down, but we will just to show. Right, so we're going to check on him. He's got a 12 as it is, but we need to draw the card. We get a sniper, so 12 plus 4 is 16, so it's fine, but we need a sniper. Now this is going to be a hex draw, so this could affect the weapon as well. So a sniper and a random hex number I2. Oh, that's going to fix the weapon, I think. Let's get the hex first. So I2 is zoom out. Oh, we are zoomed out. Right, yeah, we are. Sorry. I2, where are we? I2's up there in the woods. So nothing doing there. However, that was a 2 result, and the weapon with a 2 is going to be fixed. So good result for the Russians here. So that weapon gets fixed. There's no other weapons that are broken, and that's that. And then we check for the leader. He's only got a 10. He's got 8 plus the terrain. A 2 is 10. So I mean, I suppose a double 1 would suppress him, wouldn't it? So here we go. Right, 7, no event. He's fine. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, that's basically it. Yeah, that's all that's happening. Right, so back to try and find another order. So the second order is going to be a 3 and a 2. So 3 is a success. Black dice is a 2, so success there. 2 is here, so it's going to be a normal move. Okay. So this is where we maybe could move the hero. I mean, you could move this as well, though, Grant. And we probably should, because these are probably going to shuffle their way down to the edge of the woods here to then shoot at us out in the open, really. So I think I'll maybe leave the leader for now. Because remember, he can be activated more than once, so we're all okay with that. So we're going to activate Captain Winkler to activate both these units. Now this is going to have a movement of 4. This is going to get an extra 1 if he stays with the captain. Where are we going though? I mean, are we going up here? I don't know. I think that's a bit bold, isn't it? I mean, the Russians. Well, not that we should know what they're going to have, but they've got a fire order. When we reach there, they could opportunity fire, but I think that might be a waste, really. I don't know. Maybe I should just go up into here rather than be adjacent to them. So if we are sitting up there, he attacks us next turn. He's attacking with a 5. We've got pretty decent values though, haven't we? Well, these guys aren't quite as good as the other ones, actually. He's got a morale of 6, and he's only got a 7, and he would get a +1 from that, but he's a bit more vulnerable with a 6. Yeah, they'd get the +2 for the woods, but that's still only 8. He's firing with a 5, what's the Ceros, a 10, that's 15 to 8. That's a bit risky. I feel like these. My thinking is probably to move these down, so that we're then on the edge of the woods and we can fire at these guys. Well, I mean, you could just go up there, maybe. I'm actually thinking about maybe moving this guy up this way, He's going to be away up there without a leader though, so he's going to have to make his move himself. But at the moment, he's got a movement of 4, but he's going to gain 1 from going down the road, so that's 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He could potentially reach there now. I'm not sure if I'm going to move all the way to there because that could offer opportunity fire as well. So I might stop short and then maybe just come around and into here and try and grab that. And then these guys, you know what? I'm going to move them in here, I think. I don't think we need to press towards that objective or anything like that. I mean, although they are winning, they've got 4 points. Sorry, I'm saying they, as in, that's me. The Russians have got 4 points. But these are worth 2 points each. Is it? Yeah, they're only worth 2 points each. So that's another 4. Tell you what, though, we've left that objective open. That leader could do a dash for that. The hero. Well, I don't know. I feel like this is more important actually because looking at my hand, I've got 2 move cards, and although I'm probably quite keen on carrying a fire order again with these, I think my other order would be a move order with these down to there. I just feel like that. I mean, okay, I'm trying to not think that way, but I suppose as the, you know, if this was somebody else I was playing, I would maybe think, well, if he's got a move order, he might want to get down here. So let's move these together then, and just move them 1, 2 up. Well, it's 1, 2, 3 up into the woods there, I think. Yeah, I don't want to go adjacent, I don't think. And then we activated this as well, so I'm going to move this. It's going to have 5 movement in total. When it gets somewhere, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That would allow me to go 1, 2, 3, 4 into there next turn. Because I can't reach that in this turn. So why not just do that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into there. Now is there a line of sight? Well, hang on, you need range as well, Grant. That's got a 6, and that's fixed mine, that weapon. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's not any good. This is a 1 though. It's got 10. So it can reach. So what can it fire at? I can fire at I8 there. That one. But I'm not intending going to that. Can it fire at I9? 1, 2, 3. Well, I'm not going to I9 either, am I? I can't reach that. It's J9. I think it can reach J9, can it? It can. But here's the thing. It's going to be firing. We're going to have to use a fire card to fire at 6 with that. And this guy's got a morale of 7. J9. So he's going to be sitting with a 9. He's going to roll just on a 6. Has he got any actions? Yeah, he's got 2 crossfires, in fact. See, but I'm looking at him. I shouldn't be doing that, should I? From the German's point of view. I'm looking at that and I shouldn't be. But it's just natural. That's why I can't do it two-handed, I think. I think I'm going to go for this. Because he's sitting out in the open here. So I'm going to move 1, 2... I mean, he can't see there, can he? No, that's clearly going through that woods. Yeah, it's not. So 3, and then we're going to move 4, 5 into there. But when I move, and the reason I've got 5 is because I was moving up the road. When I move in there, is he wanting to take that shot? It's clearly in line of sight. Would be a 6, but he's actually got 2 crossfire cards. And they add 2 when firing at a moving target. You know what? I don't think I want to do that. Because my next turn, I think I want to do a fire action with these guys. This is the important bit for me. I want to do a fire on that. And if I use this fire, I've only got 1 fire card left, so I'm not going to be able to do that. And I want to use one of the move cards. Well, now, this is maybe taking that away, though, by that, isn't it? Box range. Yeah, it's just the machine guns that are box range, isn't it? I still don't think this is worth using the fire card on. Yeah, I'm gonna let it go. I'm gonna let it pass. That's fine. So that's the Germans moved. That's them done their thing. That's them carried out 2 actions. That goes back. We reset our hand. Now they've only... Ouch. That was smart. Got the corner of the card right in my finger. It started bleeding as well. Right. 2 cards left, so I'm going to have to draw 3 more. So I'll put them underneath the 2 that we had. And that's back up to 5. Okay. Right, so back over to us. That's quite a lot of blood coming out there. I just caught the card. There was a sharpness in the sleeve of the card, and it just caught the corner of my fingernail, and it's a vulnerable bit. Right, I'll live. Okay. So we've got we've got the fire card now. We're going to do that. We've got 2 move cards, and yeah, we gave up the fact that that was a moving target. Fair enough. Recover's got the spray fire on it. Don't think that's any good to us. Let's say target 2 different hexes, but it needs to be a weapon that's firing, and we've only really got the 1 hex to fire at here. And then the route card has it's got something to think about, because we used that before, didn't we? Add +2 when firing a mortar or machine gun. The fire attack roll is doubles, break it. Well, I suppose we should consider the fire action first, shouldn't we? So, but our choices again are we use the sustained fire. So we fire with the machine gun at this, and we so our strength is 6, but we add the +2 because it's a machine gun, so that's 8, and then we have 1, 2, 3, 4 supporting this. Is that right? No, you know what? It wasn't before, but it is now, because this machine gun's fixed. This guy was out of range. He only had a range at 3. But now the machine gun's fixed, that does what? That doesn't add another 1. This is pretty decent. So I think the fire attack's going to be 12. 6 +2 is 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Of course, the other way we can do it is just use the rifle squad and the +2 to get 7. And then we add 1, 2, 3, 4 to get 11. That means we don't use the sustained fire card. But I think we should use the sustained fire card. The only problem is if the fire attack roll is doubles, it breaks it. So that's the bad part. Right, let's do this. So I'm going to play a fire action, and we're going to activate these guys. I'm going to activate the sergeant, who's going to activate everybody. We're going to use this as the main fire, and everybody else is going to join as a fire group. We are going to play this. Add +2 when firing a mortar or machine gun. The fire attack roll is doubles, it break it. So I'm going to add that as well. So our attack is going to be 12 at the moment. So let me just put 12 there just now. Right, now we need to check for concealment though. Right, so the concealment, but remember the action track token is up at the 6. So opponent plays a fire order. We need to roll, so we need to get a 6, and the black dice needs to be a 1 to 3. So this is off the action deck. Oh, the other way about would have been good. If it had been 6-3, would have worked. So the 3 fails. So that means that that goes down 1. And there's no concealment. So back to the fire. So we're firing with 12. And we're going to roll the dice. Make it a 10. Oh. So 12. So 22. 20. Oh. Yeah, I've got another D10 here, I think. So 22. So 22 attack. This could be nasty. Into here. So he gives the +2 to him only. So they're all base 9, aren't they? 9. He's going to be 9. He's going to be 9. He's going to be 9. And they're in a +3. Yikes! So that they're all sitting at 12. So they need. Oh my! That's brutal. They need an 11. That just shows you that is a strong. Well, okay, did roll 10 on the dice, which helped. Yeah, I mean the attack in itself was 12, which is exactly what their morale is. So it's a kind of even fight, if you like, isn't it? Right, well, there's going to be big rolls. I can see things going wrong here then. So we're going to roll for the rifle squad first. So 12 plus. Oh, 10. Well, that's 22 though, isn't it? I think that means he's suppressed. We've got a sniper there. I'll just take this 9, 10, 11, 12. And the fence bit doesn't work. We worked that one out. There's no hindrance. Yeah, that's 12 plus 10. It is 22, so it's exactly the same. Well, at least he's not breaking, I suppose. We do need to deal with a sniper though. So let's draw for that. Sniper is in Jai 3, which is. This is Jai. It's up there. So it was close. So yeah, equal to as a. Let's see, fire attack. Defense total equals attack roll. Break if target unit is moving. Oh, right. Well, they weren't moving. Otherwise, it becomes suppressed. Yeah. So I've got a suppressed token there actually. So the rifle squad suppressed. Right, we need to check. Well, we'll check for the hero next. So again on a 12. He's rolled a 3, so he's breaking. So he flips over. So he was 2, 4, 7. Now he's 1, 2, 3. And then the Lieutenant Kirsty's is 12 as well. Plus, oh, he gets it. Look at that. 12 plus 11. 23. So he survives. Nice. Well, I'll tell you what, that could have been worse. Suppressed, the broken, and the leader was good. So they're kind of looking for a recovery action now. Yeah, that's it, isn't it? That's a fire done. That's the attack done. So now that's one order they've done, which has activated all that stuff up that side. So yeah, our options really to move. Well, there's no recovery needed. It's really, do we want to move some of this? Oh, and that last fire card was the one that had the ambush on it as well. So that's going. I don't know. I don't think we do want to move. I think we need to know we've got at least a fire card in our hand, or I mean, maybe we want to just advance, because advance doesn't allow opportunity fire. That's our bonus to that, but you only get to move 1 hex. That's the way I was reading that, I think. So I think we will stop there. Yeah, I mean, I started thinking why maybe move this guy around here, but remember it was 2 into the woods, so 2, 4, that's as far as he's going to get. Thought about maybe getting him down to here, and then, well, then he'd be up against this machine gun. The machine gun might have opportunity fire on him, but yeah, I think I'll just maybe bide their time there, because I think what they've going up here now looks pretty strong. If they can roll, well, they're going to be getting an 11 firepower before the die roll every turn. Well, assuming they get a fire card. So I'm going to leave that. They're only going to use that one action, so we're going to draw back up to 5. We get a rout, which could be good for them because they've got a broken unit and a suppressed unit and that build in. So, and right, I was wondering when some of these were going to come a bit. So artillery denied. So none of that's going to help. Even the action doesn't help us there. Scenario defender only. So that's a dud card. Right, so 46 minutes. I think I'll try one more action there. But I'm going to hopefully come straight back and hit record and start playing right away rather than blathering. Hopefully. Right, well, they could do a recovery action this time. So let's see if we can get that. So again, they need a 2 and not followed by a 1. So they get a 4 and a 1. So that succeeds. And however, that just goes back to artillery request and does nothing, which means there's no action no command order taken. So that drops down 1. Let me draw for their next one. They need a 2 again. Right, a 4 and a 4 this time. So that's a success. And what is the 4? What's a recover? Look at that. Excellent. So they've got the recovery order. And I need to refresh myself with this. It's just rallying up your units, isn't it? This is an order, isn't it? Recover. When a recover order is announced, that player selects himself to be activated, provided he has at least one broken and or suppressed unit in play, and he has not been activated for a recover right order previously in the same turn. Okay, that is the case. Important, the broken suppressed units themselves are not activated during a recover order, only the player himself is. So that's just to remind you that if we do recover these, and well, if we did have access to another order, we could then activate them to fire or move or whatever. So the procedure is: first player taking the recover order removes all suppressed markers from his friendly units. Well, we get to remove that, so that's good. That's the only one we've got suppressed. So, and then it's just a case of trying to rally that guy, I think. Then he makes a rally roll for each friendly unit that was broken at the time the order was announced. And it reminds you that units that become broken due to events during a recover roll don't get to make a rally roll. If he has more than one unit, he chooses the order in which they will be affected, like rallying them up. A rally roll can have one of 3 effects on a broken unit. If it's less than its morale, rally it. If it's equal to its morale, it becomes suppressed and remains broken. If it's greater than its current morale, there is no effect and the unit simply remains broken. So we don't really want equal to, we want less than. Right, but he's got a 9, I think. Remember the leader or lieutenant doesn't give him the +2 because he's a leader himself. So his morale is 9. So we need a 9 or less on the dice. Here we go. Less than a 9 we want. 11. That was the right pile. I thought we'd drawn it for the wrong bit. He doesn't become suppressed, but he doesn't rally, so he just stays as he is. Damn. Oh well, that was looking like we were getting something. Or they were getting something. Right, that's him had their 2 orders. They've got 3 cards in hand. That resets. And we draw 2 more cards. 1, 2. It's our turn over. Back to us. Okay, and that was annoying because they've got, we've got that right now, so I don't know. Do we want to try and route that? Does route affect the suppressed? No, I don't think it does. It just affects broken stuff, doesn't it? Problem is, if we routed that hero, it's got to move 2. Well, let's just say we roll 11 and it's 2 above its morale. We've got to retreat that towards this map edge 2 hexes. So we could go 1, 2 and take that objective. Or even if we got 3 above, we could go 1, 2. I don't think we could do that. I think it would have to be there rather than there. I think we've got to be moving closer to there. Whereas that's moving closer. That's still moving closer to the map edge. It's the same as that, isn't it? 1, 2, 1, 2, yeah. So maybe we don't want it right on. Well, what else have we got? We've got recover, we've got move, we've got nothing else. Right, hang on. We've got assault fire on that route card as well. So that is make 1 fire attack with any number of your units, weapons with box firepower that are currently active to move. Box firepower. They've not got that. The only one that's got it is the light machine gun. And when you activate units to move, somebody actually has to move. I remember reading that. You can't just activate them and move and not move anybody. I don't know. I'm just wondering there if you activate 3 units to move, do they all have to move? I think the answer's going to have to be yes to that. No. So I think if you activate anything to move, it's got to actually move 1 hex. It's got to spend a movement point, I would say. Yeah, I don't really feel like that route order's a good idea. Just because what I've just said, I mean, if we roll less than that, it just stays where he is. If we roll a 10, I mean, the best result would be to roll a 9, then he becomes suppressed. But that's the only result that really helped. Well, maybe not necessarily so. If we roll a 10, then he moves back 1 hex. But if we roll an 11, but then it has to be exactly an 11 to be able to get in there, Grant. Yeah, Well, I'll tell you something else though. If he does roll like a 10, he's then moving into a clear hex. It's going to be harder for him to recover. Don't know, that assault fire on that route card's quite good as well though. Well, what are you going to do then? Just discard the artillery denied card? That seems a bit weak. I'm not sure. Alright, well, what about... Hold on, Grant. You've got move. We could activate some of these to move and make 1 fire attack with any number of units, weapons with... it's box firepower. Yeah, well, that doesn't work. None of them with box firepower. So, yeah, I was forgetting that. That assault fire card is not really that great then. The only what unit we've got is a light machine gun. It's got a firepower of 3, but we would have to move it to benefit from that. That's kind of rubbish. But I think I'm going to just discard. Well, again, I'm not really seeing the benefit of this routing that hero. So I think I'm going to discard this, obviously. I think I'm going to discard that recover and the route. Because if we can get fire cards, these guys are in a bit of bother, aren't they? So I'm going to discard the 3 cards. We are allowed to just discard 3. So I'll draw the cards, but Then I've got to remember that trigger. So 1, 2, 3. So yeah, looking for more fire action. My move, I've had plenty of fire cards. Right, advance, okay. First time I've had that. Okay, well let's just move on. There's another route. It's got spray fire on it. And artillery denied again. Right, I'm not sure if this trigger is worthy of... Well, no, you should still do it, Grant, because it will maybe move the action track. And it's... because we discarded cards due to passing, we're not a scenario defender. We've got demolitions there, but there's nothing to demolish. So we need to roll, and well, first of all, we need a 5 or greater on the white dice. We also need a 5 or 6 on the black dice. So off the action deck. Well, we got the second part. We didn't get the first part, but at least that then nudges that down one, doesn't it? Yeah, and no demolitions happen. That was the end of our turn, so it's back over to the Germans. Okay, right. I think I'll cut that as a part now. We're closing in on an hour, and but I'm going to come straight back while I'm moving things about here and see if we can get through this. So I'll be back shortly. Cheers.